We need an objective measure that allows us to say which species are worth saving and which are beyond the point of no return.
That's not our call. They're all worth saving.
But we don't have the money to save them all.
This is LA Theatre Works. I'm Susan Loewenberg. Zoologist Piper Ross is determined to save the Australian tiger quoll, an endangered marsupial threatened by coal mining interests in its rainforest habitat. She finds an unlikely savior in Harry Jewell, a coal industry executive who offers to fund her conservation efforts. As she weighs his offer, she and her environmentalist colleagues find themselves facing ethical and personal dilemmas they could never have predicted. And now, Extinction by Hannie Rayson, directed by Martin Jarvis. Starring Seamus Dever, Sarah Drew, Darren Richardson, and Joanne Whalley. Extinction is part of LA Theatre Works' Relativity Series of science-themed plays. Lead funding for the Relativity Series is provided by the Alfred P. Sloan Foundation, bridging science and the arts in the modern world.
Cape Otway, Animal Rescue?
G'day. I think I've hit a tiger quoll.
No way. Where are you?
About 10 minutes from your place, I reckon.
You sure it's a quoll?
Furry marsupial, size of a cat, spots on its fur, mouthful of pointy teeth.
Wow. And it's alive?
Just.
Okay, bring her in. Come on. What's keeping you? You took your time?
I couldn't find the turn-off. It's crazy out there.
May I see? Oh, it's okay. Shush. You make a left from Stump Gully Road.
That's if you can find Stump Gully Road.
Here, put her on the examination table. It was good that you wrapped her in a towel.
Have you treated one of these before?
No, she's my first. We just have to keep her head covered. Make sure she's warm and safe.
Thought it was male.
Oh, it's okay, little one. We're just trying to settle her down. Shh.
What about all that blood?
Well, that's just a cut. It's the internal bleeding we need to worry about. I'll just have a look.
Yeah.
Oops, hold tight.
Sorry.
Not a problem. Oh, those gums look pretty pale. Here, cover her head. Like this. No, come in closer. Tummy feels all right.
Great.
She may have a punctured lung.
She's not moving.
Well, she's had a big shock.
That leg doesn't look good.
It's broken. That's the least of her worries. Stand here. Oh, shh. It's okay. You're gonna be okay. Gloves. Put them on. And then I need you to keep her very, very still. Stand nice and close. You're doing great. Are they big enough?
Yes.
Good. We're gonna keep her very quiet. Just hold her head like this. That's good. Nice and gentle. Reassure her. Stethoscope?
Round your neck.
Excellent. Okay. Let's have a listen. She's in shock. You're doing well. Keep supporting her like that.
I couldn't think of who to ring. Then I couldn't find the road. It's pissing down out there. Are you counting the number of breaths?
Mm-hmm.
Used to be lots of tiger quolls around here when I was a kid. My mother kept a little bloke just like this as a pet.
23.
What does that mean?
It means we need to get some fluids into her. Are you all right?
Yep. Errol, she called him. Errol Flynn. What's the needle for?
Saline for shock. I don't think I'm going to be able to get this into a vein.
Am I holding it right?
Perfect. I'm just going to inject this into the abdominal cavity. That'll be fine. Okay. There we go. Oh, shh, 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 shh. Should bring down her breathing.
She's in a shitload of pain.
Where did it happen?
About 10 k's back, just as you come into the national park. You don't imagine you could destroy life, do you? But in reality, you are capable of horrendous acts of violence.
Well, this was an accident.
Was it? Maybe I was preoccupied. Maybe I wasn't attending. That's what my wife would say. She's just told me she wants our marriage to... That's what I'm doing here. I've just driven 1,100 kilometres to tell my parents.
I'm sorry.
I should shut up. Is there something you could give her?
I'll just get her breathing under control.
For the pain?
There is, in a minute.
Shit. Don't die. Please don't die.
Tell me about Errol Flynn.
Okay. Well, most nights. After dinner, we'd see him running along the roof of the milking shed and down the drain pipe.
Okay.
One night when he was still pretty small, size of a kitten, we were sitting at the dinner table when Errol shows up, climbs through the window, onto my sister's shoulder, then down her arm onto the table. Helps himself to a chicken wing off a plate.
That's pretty rude.
Really made my mum laugh. She loved how ballsy he was. Whereas me and Dad... What?
Nothing. Go on.
You just frowned.
You were saying about your dad?
If it had been up to us, we'd have taken to Errol with the shotgun.
Don't you listen to this.
Like all the farmers around here, we hated qualls.
How come?
They'd get into the chicken runs, and that'd be it, just carnage in there. And we like shooting stuff, basically.
Come on, girl. Keep in there. What kind of farm?
Dairy cattle. Not many, about 60 head. My grandpa hacked that farm out of the rainforest.
That'd be hard, Yakka.
I'll say. It was bloody cruel.
I think her breathing is settling a bit. Shh, 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 shh. It's okay.
So what do we do now?
We wait for the vet.
You're not the vet?
No, I'm just helping out.
Where's the vet, then?
He's out on a call.
What's his number?
He's out of range. He'll be here soon.
Shit.
I was hoping there might be a baby in the pouch. Sometimes there's...
Is there?
No.
You sure?
I know what I'm doing. Sorry, I'm sorry. No one has seen one of these for a long time. A lot of people around here have given up hope. The last sighting was 10 years ago, and that was just a hare in a trap.
What do you do, then?
I'm a zoologist.
Okay. You poor little thing.
Most people wouldn't have stopped. Why'd you stop?
I saw it run out on the road. I just saw the spots and I thought, shit, that's a tiger quall. Then I hit it. I'd just been speaking on the phone to my daughter. She's 14. She rang to let me know that I've destroyed her life.
14-year-old girls can be very melodramatic, as I recall.
She was born on a night like this. She just slipped out of my wife's body and suddenly everything was right with the world. But now, her teenage life is unfolding and I'm not part of it.
Yes, you are. It's just different.
We don't live in the same house anymore.
When my father died, I was totally lost. You think the grief will come to an end and your life will resume its normal course, but it doesn't. Sorry, this isn't helpful.
Yes, it is. It's like I used to be in the centre of my life and now I'm on the periphery.
It's a lonely place.
You're divorced?
No, my parents. The hostilities only ceased when my father died. My mother is a very accomplished hater. Oh, shush, 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 shush. Come on, girl. You're sopping. You want to take off your coat?
Thanks.
Would you like some whiskey?
Most people around here drink tea in a crisis.
I'm not from around here. I keep a bottle for just such a night.
Well, thank you. Let's get it open. American?
Don't hold that against me.
Whereabouts?
Michigan, originally.
Nice.
Have you been there?
Years ago, I did postgrad at Columbia. My roommate was from Ann Arbor.
Postgrad in what?
Master of Business.
Would you mind grabbing a couple of glasses in the cupboard?
These?
Perfect. How will your parents take the divorce?
My mother will blame me.
Will she be right?
People like me work hard. We're absent, we hurt people.
Are you like some cliché person? Having an affair with your secretary or someone?
No, I am not like some cliché person.
Shush, it's okay. Here you go.
Cheers.
Cheers.
We should ring the vet.
Give it another few minutes.
My wife is having sexual relations with my friend Damien Gore. That's what I wanted to scream down the phone to my daughter. I'm not the one who destroyed this marriage. Ask your mother what it's like going down on Damien fucking Gore. But you can't say that to a 14-year-old girl. According to my wife, it's all my fault.
Wow, how does that work?
It's a self-esteem issue.
Okay.
When my good friend Damien told my wife Stephanie how sexy and beautiful she was, she realised she's been suffering from a lack of confidence. And this meant she was not a strong, positive role model for our daughter.
And this is your fault because...
Because I'm not home to tell my wife she's gorgeous and to engage in spontaneous lovemaking in the afternoon.
So she had sex in your home with your friend for the sake of your daughter?
Yes.
Wow.
Sorry, I'm blathering. What's he doing, this vet?
He's pulling out a calf.
Okay.
It's dead. He has to chop it up and pull it out piece by piece. It's been dead for 3 days.
Yeah. Gross. Poor guy. Can you phone him and tell them this is a bloody tiger quoll?
He's going as fast as he can.
Look, I don't want to be responsible for killing the last one of these things.
If there's one, there'll be more.
How do you know? Maybe this is the last one. There's always a last one, isn't there? The last thylacine, the last dodo. Maybe this is the last tiger quoll. So maybe this makes room for something new.
More cats. That's all it makes room for.
So, cats replace quolls. That's what evolution's all about, isn't it? Natural selection.
No, but it's not natural. It's unnatural. Millions of tiny relationships hang off the fangs of the quoll. And when those relationships break apart...
What are you doing here? In the bush, on your own.
I'm a volunteer. I work at the university, at the Institute for Conservation and Public Education. The Cape Institute.
I'm impressed.
You know it?
Never heard of it. So what do you do with this Cape Institute?
I do koalas.
Oh, I thought I'd seen you somewhere. You were in the paper a few weekends back.
I'm on leave from the San Diego Zoo. We have the biggest koala breeding program outside of Australia.
That's right, you're the koala girl.
It's Andy. He's almost here.
Thank Christ.
Do you know that female koalas choose their mate by smell?
Really? That's very intimate.
I've been taking samples from the scent glands of male koalas, and pretty soon I'll be able to create an artificial scent, like a male cologne, which will trick girl koalas into falling in love with a better type of boy.
Really? So, what will it smell like, your perfume?
It's a very sexy combination of urine and feces.
So, just a deb?
Here he is. What happened to Errol Flynn, by the way?
One night, he didn't show up. We never saw him again. My mum said he'd found a good woman.
Not likely. They're party boys. As soon as their gonads fire up, they go crazy and have as much sex as they can. Then they collapse and die.
I could think of worse ways to leave the building.
Good day.
Andy,
How'd you go?
we're hanging on. Only just.
Sorry, I stink. Is it a quoll? She's a tiger, all right. What happened?
I hit her on the road.
Obviously.
Andy, this is... Sorry, I don't even know your name.
Harry.
Harry.
Good day. All right, let's have a look at you.
Her lungs sound terrible. I thought maybe she had a diaphragmatic hernia.
Why would you think that?
The diaphragm feels as though it's separated and shooting forward.
You reckon? Did you check the pulse?
Of course I checked the pulse.
And?
Sounds okay.
What about refill?
I checked the gums and the eyes.
Oh, yeah?
I didn't want to stress her any more than necessary. I did everything I could.
Where did it happen?
I'm not sure exactly.
You'll have a GPS in that car, I'm assuming.
Yeah, I'll grab it.
What is your problem?
I don't have a problem. Whereas you and a tall, dark stranger are drinking whiskey here in the clinic.
The guy is upset. He's had an accident.
Hope he didn't damage that cruise missile he's got out there.
Oh, you're judging the guy by the type of car he drives?
Why do you think blokes like him buy wheels like that?
Andy, the guy hit an animal and he stopped. On a night like this.
Come here.
Why?
Just come over here.
No! You totally undermined me in front of him.
Piper, I'm cold, I'm tired, and I've had my arm up the arse end of a cow for the past 3 hours. Now, if you come here, I will show you what you needed to feel for. The quoll has a broken back. It's paralysed from the waist down. It's not fair to try and resuscitate an animal in this condition.
According to my GPS, it was at Wild Dog Creek Road, just before the old Colac turnoff.
From around here, are you?
It used to be.
What are you doing with that syringe? No, Andy, please!
She can't survive these injuries. Sorry, old girl.
This was not somebody's mangy cat, you know.
Do you want your towel?
You don't just pull out your needle and dispose of the problem.
We needed to at least try.
You snapped its spinal column.
You do what you can to keep an endangered animal alive.
Not if it's paralysed, you don't.
Yes, you do. Unless you're the village idiot posing as the fucking vet.
Nice meeting you too, mate.
So sorry. I don't know what to say. I'm Piper.
I figured that.
Thank you for what you did.
Here's my card. Send me some info about your koala work.
Well, that's a shitty end to a shitty day. Whiskey?
Have you seen my backpack?
On the hook. What are you doing?
I am putting on my bike helmet and I am going home.
Piper, I had no choice.
You did so. You just opted for the most convenient one. Good night, arsehole.
Well, this is pleasant. Just me, a dead tiger quoll. Oh, and Flash Harry's business card. Let's see here. Oh no. You are having me on. You know who this dude is, Piper? Piper, it's Harry Jewell! Piper! Harry bloody Jewell. Oh, Christ.
Happy birthday, Dix.
What's this?
Watermelon tequila.
Oh, my God.
Nice.
Oh, my God. Did I tell you I had a meeting with the Vice-Chancellor today? He leaned across the table and started to talk to me urgently about defending our territory. It was like we're in the White House Situation Room.
Who's the enemy?
Other universities.
Right.
He wants to rebrand us as Harvard Down Under.
Wow.
What is in this drink?
It's just watermelon all mushed up with ice, simple syrup, blueberries, and tequila. My mom used to make it for her bridge nights.
How is your mum?
She's on a hunger strike.
Meaning like a diet.
Meaning like Gandhi, like nonviolent resistance. The dean of her university is amalgamating her beloved philosophy department with cinema studies.
And I thought we were insane. Good for her. To Alison.
Yeah, people who have normal mothers don't understand the horrors of having a weird one. Yours is totally sane. She makes soup and knits you sweaters. Mine is like this mad molting hen. She dashes around the country promoting veganism, but do you know what she actually eats? Corn chips. That is all there is standing between Alison and malnutrition.
We have to talk about what you're going to do.
About what?
Your funding here runs out in 3 months. You either have to go back to San Diego or we find you a new project.
What sort of project?
I had a meeting with the Environment Minister this morning. She wants me to update the Dixon-Brown index and include birds.
Dix, the index,
What?
when would this be?
Next month?
Oh, no, I can't. I'm sorry. We're collecting scent samples from my koalas on Phillip Island.
Piper?
I need this data. My whole project depends on it.
But you don't have to collect the samples yourself.
I do.
You have money for a research assistant.
I know.
You have to learn to delegate.
I know. I just don't think you can be an ecologist from a desk in the Jean Prouse building.
I run the institute. I don't have the luxury of spending months at a time in the bush.
I didn't mean you.
I would love nothing more than to get back to my own research.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm talking about myself and the index.
I look at Stuart Decker and I think, how come you get to spend 6 months collecting coral from the Great Barrier Reef? Oh, that's right. Some mug spends all her time in her dingy little office writing your applications so you can win the Humboldt Award and get a suntan.
You live up here and you never even see a bird. No wonder you're stressed.
I'm not stressed.
But how do you renew yourself if you never see a flock of birds sail across the sky in the morning light?
You drink.
You can't experience awe in a city.
That is ridiculous.
It's not. You have to be in the wilderness to feel reverence. You have to be someplace where life is unfolding beyond human control. Look, why don't you come with me into the bush just for a couple days? That'll sort you out.
Piper, I'm not the one who needs to be sorted out.
I know zip about birds.
They fly in flocks across the sky in the morning light. Look, the question is, do you want to stay at the Institute or not?
Yeah, I want to stay. You know I do.
Hiya, coming up.
Is that Andy? What's he doing here?
It's my birthday. He's my brother.
I'm out of here.
Please, Pipe. Mum and Dad'll be at the restaurant too. They adore you.
Andy and I aren't speaking.
Jesus, Piper. The tiger quoll had a broken back.
It may have had a chance. Maybe it was just a damaged vertebra. How do we know?
He's a vet.
He's not God.
Remember when the two of you rode that motorbike across the Simpson Desert?
What about it?
You should have been married to Nigel. His idea of extreme adventure was buying his socks from a different department store. He wants a divorce.
No wonder you're depressed.
I am not depressed.
Okay.
What is it with you? I'm just over being single. But I have no room in my life for a relationship. There is no empty space that is boyfriend-shaped.
You have to create the space.
It's all very well saying you have to be the author of your own life, but there are 25 people on staff at the Institute, most of whom have families and mortgages, and they rely on me to come up with their salaries. So as much as I would love to be out there in the bush or cruising bars looking for a bloke.
Cruising bars?
Whatever. Come for dinner. Please?
Hey, sis. Happy birthday.
What happened to you?
Oh, hey, Pipes.
Oh my God. Your poor eye. It's so swollen.
I had an altercation with a door.
Whereabouts?
Bloody Pasco's. This dairy farm out at Ryler's Ridge.
That looks as if it needs a stitch. Come here.
She'll be right.
Let me look.
What's this?
Watermelon tequila. Want some?
Sure. It's okay.
I'll get you a glass.
I'm sorry.
Have you seen a doctor?
Yeah, it's fine.
You haven't, have you?
I hate it when we fight.
Well, stop arguing with me all the time.
I didn't start it.
You did.
I didn't. You got into a big sulk and left.
Andy, I am not the kind of person who sulks. All right, sulking is part of my repertoire, but that was not a sulk. That was like fury.
You're so sexy when you're furious. Oh, by the way, your Mr. Jewell is in the news.
Who?
You're Harry Jewell. He's the managing director of Powerhouse Mining.
No.
You're Mr. Evil.
He's not my Mr. Evil.
He's applied for a licence to explore for brown coal in the Otways.
You're joking.
80,000 hectares of prime agricultural land.
The government won't let him.
You just watch him.
What is the matter with these people? Are you sure it's the same Harry Jewell?
Jewell. Mr. Jewell founded Powerhouse last year after 2 decades' experience in the coal and gold sectors. Holds a master's degree in mining engineering from Columbia University in New York, married with 1 daughter.
That's my Mr. Evil.
The locals are furious. Here's an email from Corky Dent. If any bastard tries to shift any of my dirt looking for coal, I'll blow his ass off.
Good old Corky.
Come here. I need to kiss you.
God.
Dix? Nope, she's gone.
Mm-hmm.
Come and open your present.
You and I need to sort out some things, Andy.
I like it when we sort things out.
Do you just?
I like putting my arms around you like this.
So, all right. Oh, please.
Here, a gift for the birthday girl.
Beautifully wrapped. This doesn't look like a book about climate change.
Open the box.
Oh. Did you choose this?
I did?
Andy, this necklace is beautiful.
Here, let me. These clasps are so... there.
You look lovely.
You have a very nice thorax.
Excuse me? Did you just pay me a compliment?
Cheers. You should see this dairy farm. It's all computerised. They got one bloke managing 1,000 cows. No human supervision of the milking, no one to check the udders. I'm just there doing the rounds like a robot.
It's work, I suppose.
That's not why I became a vet.
Is that when you hit your head?
That's when I thought, I'm going to sell the practice.
Sell the practice?
And do what?
Maybe go back to El Salvador or Zambia. Somewhere where it means something to be a vet.
What about Piper?
Papa's leaving.
No, she's not.
What?
She's going to work on updating the Dixon-Brown index with me.
Oh, Dix, I don't think so.
Why not?
You need someone who's good at math.
That would be me. I have a PhD in statistics, in case I forgot to mention it.
Being such a self-effacing person.
Being such a fucking doormat.
For Stuart fucking Decker.
And every other fucking fucker in this department. I love this drink. Is there more?
Sure.
How much tequila is in this?
A shitload.
I better have some more then. What is your problem, Piper?
Her problem is that she would no more work on your fucking index than fly to the moon.
Andy.
I'm assuming that you both agree that the rate of extinction is out of control.
Of course we do.
And there is only so much funding to go around to deal with this. You do accept that? Piper, people with expertise, people like you and me, have to be able to advise government about the best use of the conservation dollar.
I know the argument.
We need an objective measure that allows us to say which species are worth saving and which are beyond the point of no return.
That's not our call. They're all worth saving.
But we don't have the money to save them all.
So what's your latest magic number?
5,000. Populations below that can't survive a catastrophe like a flood or a cyclone or a bushfire.
I thought it was 2,000.
I've refined the algorithm.
And this is supposed to apply to every mammal on Earth. That's what your algorithm says, regardless of whether we're talking about killer whales or teeny potoroos.
Government departments need a strategy that will deliver the highest probability of success.
So now we're doing birds, which means consigning the orange-bellied parrot to the trash.
Probably.
There are only 21 left.
Functionally extinct.
This is assassination by numbers.
This is living in the real world.
This is signing the death warrant.
See what I have to put up with?
Shut up!
What about the tiger quoll? Are you prepared to say there's a species that's done for?
Probably. The quoll you treated last night.
The quoll your brother killed.
The quoll my brother killed.
The quoll your brother humanely euthanized had no chance of surviving through the night.
You know what I think? Your index is a calculus of death.
Nice.
Punchy.
But not, I think, a line we'll be using on the website. Are you going to add that to the restaurant?
They have a no shorts policy?
They have a no park ranger policy.
Andy?
You look beautiful just as you are.
It's my birthday. No shorts. Go grab something from my wardrobe.
Like a suit or something?
You can wear a ball gown if you want.
Have I got time for a shower?
No.
I can't go if I don't shower.
Piper, there's a fresh towel on the shelf.
Thank you. Wow, fluffy.
Can you please find me a man to marry? I want to be a housewife.
I told you, I found you a man.
What man?
Alan Dodd, recently divorced, teaches meditation part-time, works in IT.
You know what Nigel used to say to me? You're one of those women who looks better with your clothes on. What sort of a man says that?
Yeah, I never liked him. Look at your desk.
Don't touch.
So many receipts. What's this one? Full leg and bikini, $45. Lip and chin, $20. Underarm, $15. Eyebrow. Do you have your eyebrow sculpted?
Give it to me, Andy.
$267.
That's for a haircut as well.
How often do you get this done?
Every 5 weeks.
Every 5 weeks you spend $267 on hair removal. You could get a tree lop for that.
What's he look like? This Alan Dodd. If he's in IT, he's probably overweight, lives with his mother, shy to the point of autism.
Dix,
What?
I fell over last night.
Andy,
I just walked into the house and fell down.
what's this about?
That hasn't happened before.
Did you see a doctor?
Tomorrow.
Andy,
I think this might be the start.
you have to tell her.
No.
Andy, you have to.
Dix, you know what she's like. She'll stay up all night looking after a bloody possum.
So?
So? She wants children. I'm not going to ask her to waste her life. I'm not doing that.
Mom, I am not being passive-aggressive. I'm just trying... This monster I'm cradling is a possum. No, it is not a baby substitute. I am on duty at the animal center. Hello, Andy.
Hello, Alison.
Hello, Allison. Hang on. Wait. When are you back?
I've got an appointment up in town.
For work?
No.
Well, what? Andy? Hang on, Mom. Wait, what? She wants to speak to you. What is this about, Mom? He's racing out the door. Andy, please, she just needs a minute.
Give me the headphones then. Hey, Alison. How's it going, mate? Oh, shit. Oh. Oh, no.
What?
Oh, that's not good.
What is going on, Andy?
Beast is sick.
Beast? What's the matter with Beast?
Shh!
Tell me.
Hold on, Alison. Piper's losing it here. He's got cancer.
Cancer? Beast has got cancer? What kind of cancer? How does she know? Put her on. Has she taken him to...
Yes, calm down.
But put her on. Don't tell me to calm down.
Let me just get the facts.
Why didn't she tell me?
Right. Okay.
What?
He has a tumour on the lung.
Can they operate?
Hang on. Sorry, Alison. What was that? Course. And that's what they said. I mean, you've seen this guy before.
Dr. Kurtz. Is it Dr. Kurtz?
No, they have a specialist oncology unit. They can operate and remove the tumour and then do a course of radiation.
Andy.
That sounds about right. Once you factor in the CT scans, the surgery, the follow-up therapy...
He's my dog.
Alison, I think Piper needs to speak to you. Yes, of course. I understand. I'll put her on.
Why didn't you tell me, Mom? You sat on the phone and you didn't say a word. I just knew something like this would happen. You don't care about animals. You have no idea how to care for anyone. You can't even look after yourself. I should never, ever have left him with you.
Piper, come on. Alison, we'll call you back, okay? All right. Calm down.
I'll raise the money, Andy.
Yep.
No, I'll sell my bike.
Mm-hmm.
How much is it going to cost?
15, 20,000.
This is so not fair.
Beast is an old dog, Pipe.
No, you don't understand.
I do.
He understands me more than anyone in the world.
Thanks.
I should never have left him with her.
This is not her fault, Pipe.
Will his hair fall out?
We're not going down that path.
What do you mean? I'm talking about chemotherapy.
Animals get sick and they die.
Then I'm not Beast.
Even Beast.
No, I'm not ready.
Piper, remember when Brian took Twinkie in for a pacemaker?
That was different.
You were scathing.
Beast is a person. He's like a brother.
And Alison treats him like a son. She paid for him to have hip replacement, remember? She takes him to Central Park every day and feeds him cubes of fruit salad from a plastic fork at that cafe.
You don't understand New Yorkers.
Piper, listen to me.
If you loved someone and they were dying, you would do everything you could to help them.
Jesus, it's 7 a.m. Who the hell is this?
You'd do everything you could, wouldn't you, Poss? Because life is precious, isn't it? You poor little thing.
It's Mr. Evil.
What's he want?
Wants to have sex with you.
He does not.
His wife just left him.
You have such a rudimentary understanding of human psychology.
Some people aren't that complicated.
Tell him to piss off.
No, I'm going.
Andy!
Okay, listen, babe. I have to go to Melbourne. Shit. Are you going to be okay?
Mm-hmm.
You need to call Alison back.
Why?
She drove from New York to San Diego to collect Beast, to look after him for you.
I'm not going to apologize.
You sure about that?
Of course I'm sure.
Okay. Give us a call later.
And you, my little baby substitute, you have to snuggle into this nice warm box I've made you. Oh, it's you.
Coast clear. Sorry about your dog.
What are you doing?
I need to talk to you.
You're gonna get lynched.
Who's gonna lynch me?
I am, with a few thousand other people in this community. You didn't happen to mention the other night that you were a coal miner.
It didn't come up.
No, it didn't. Interesting, that.
What's the matter with your dog?
He has a tumor on his lung.
They can treat that. How old is he?
12.
Whatever they can do on humans, they can do on dogs.
If you've got a spare $15,000.
15 grand, come on. He's your best friend we're talking about. What sort of dog?
American Water Spaniel. He was a rescue dog. I got him when he was 6 weeks old. You had me convinced you were someone who cared about the environment.
Actually, it's the word I really don't care for. The environment. Mostly because it's associated with environmentalists.
Oh, we're not the ones turning this country into a big empty hole.
Not true. We fill in our holes. It's called rehabilitation. We are required by law to do it.
After you've caused massive damage to the ecosystem.
Look, I'm not a hero, Piper. I don't even want to talk about this.
I'm sure you don't.
I can't save the world, okay? But I can help to bring jobs and people back to my hometown.
We don't want your jobs.
Who is this we? You don't serve your cause by being indifferent to the interests of working people. Anyway, show me something else that'll turn the lights on.
Solar, wind, tide.
Yeah, tell the Chinese. They'll go on buying coal wherever they can get it because the lights don't go out when the sun goes down.
Blame the Chinese. Good work.
They have a right to electricity. Piper, can we talk about the other night?
What about it?
I know you feel hostile towards me, but can you just hear me out? I had hoped we could talk about setting up a project to save the Otway quolls.
What sort of a project?
Getting rid of the cats for a start. And you tell me, how do we find the tiger quolls? What do we need to do to fix up that forest? You're the one with the know-how, Piper. I'm just the investor.
What sort of investment?
You mean how much money? Whatever it takes. I spent yesterday with my mother. She was impressed that an American might devote herself to our koalas. We saw about 6 of them in the manor gums out on Lighthouse Road. We also saw crimson rosellas, heaps of them. Mum goes, I've been unfaithful to your father. I keep falling in love with birds.
How'd she take your news? Your separation?
On the chin. Like she takes everything.
She didn't side with your wife, with Stephanie?
No, actually, she was quite loving. Listen, I'm on my way to Kangaroo Island. You been there?
No.
Oh, you have to see this place. It is a wildlife paradise. Totally pristine. They don't have foxes or rabbits, no feral cats, so the bush is teeming with birds. Goannas, wallabies, you name it. Bone white beaches with sea lions flopping about. It's the kind of place where people make their own cheese and honey. Farmers advertise for wives on community notice boards.
Is that why you're going?
I'm not in the market for a wife. Why don't you come?
Now?
I've chartered a plane. There's a bloke at the airport waiting for my call.
No carbon footprint too great for such important work. I have to work this weekend.
Really? I can't tempt you to fly along the coastline, over the 12 Apostles, following the line of the Great Southern Ocean, then along the limestone coast, over the Coorong. Only take a couple of hours. Ever been to any of these places?
No.
Piper.
Life is long.
That's why I like you.
You don't know me.
I don't get to meet people like you very often.
Yeah, what kind of people do you get to meet?
Dickheads, mostly.
No one around here wants a coal mine, Harry.
No one will touch the forest. I'm looking at an area about 60 k's west of here.
Why are you going to Kangaroo Island?
So I can show you one of the most beautiful places on Earth.
You don't give up, do you?
Never.
I'm in a relationship.
No worries. You'll be home in time for dinner.
I've always wanted to see the water birds on the Coorong.
Get your stuff then.
I'm drunk.
Andy, it's 3 a.m.
Can I stay?
That depends. Are you going to vomit?
Probably.
Where you been?
Bar 66.
That's a gay bar.
Yeah.
You've turned gay.
I need to lie down in that room in there.
You can lie down here.
Could you turn the ceiling off?
Oh, Andy.
I went with Mickey Chin.
Is he gay?
No.
You want water?
No one tried to pick me up.
Disappointing.
Why do you think that is?
Maybe because you're a screaming heterosexual.
Is it that obvious?
Here, take these. What did the doctor say?
Oh, the doctor.
Andy?
He told me my life is over. No, that's not true. I asked him how I could make it over, but he wouldn't play ball on that one. Even when I said to him, people bring their dogs to me and I put them down because it's the loving thing to do. That's the caring, humane course of action, Dr. Wind. But he told me we have a long way to go before we got to that stage of the game.
How long?
Oh, anything up to 5 years, which is a long time. In dog years.
I wish I'd come with you.
No, you don't.
Did you tell him about Grandpa?
Of course I told him about Grandpa.
Told him what?
The facts. By the time Grandpa was my age, he lost all muscle coordination. He trembled, and then he went blind. Then he lost the ability to speak, and after a few more years he went mad. And still there is no treatment. This is the reason I don't tell Piper.
Did you tell Mickey Chin?
No. Why would I tell Mickey Chin?
He's your friend, isn't he?
There is nothing anyone can say, Heather. Nothing. Not even you can think of anything to say. You just stand there, and to be perfectly frank, that makes it worse.
I'm sorry. I just want to be there for you, Andy.
You assume that this will help me bear the burden. Is that right? This public announcement you're hell-bent on me making?
Not a public announcement.
Private confession, then.
I just think it would help to tell your friends.
Help who? You think it will help me?
Yes, I think it will help you.
Well, it won't. It will not lighten the burden. It will make the burden worse. It will make the burden heavier and harder. I have to lug around the weight of another person's misery in addition to my own.
I'm sorry, Andy. I really am.
I'm sure you're sorry. I'm sorry as well. And everyone who eventually learns about my illness will be very sorry too. We'll all be sorry, so terribly sorry.
I wish I could be better.
Oh, what an asinine thing to say. Better than what?
More comforting.
Oh, yeah. It's all going to work out in the end. Fuck off.
Okay.
See? This is the kind of conversation that brings out the idiot in people. And to think that the very person you're closest to could be so grotesquely inept at helping you. That's actually a reason for despair.
Maybe we should talk about this in the morning, when you feel better.
I'm never going to feel better. The gun's gone off, Heather. And I'm running as fast as I can towards blindness and gibbering dementia. I am never going to feel better. Do you hear me?
Yes.
Can you understand what it means?
No, I can't really.
Good. Good. Now we're getting somewhere.
Hello? Hello?
Is that you, Alan?
Excuse me? Where are you?
Down here.
Ah, hello. You always lie on your office floor?
Sorry, meditating. I've decided this is the only way to deal with my IT traumas. I'm not going to get stressed. I'm just going to breathe. When I came in this morning, my screen said Windows Memory Diagnostic Disabled. It's not even a sentence.
I'm Harry.
Pardon?
Harry Jewell.
Did Alan send you?
I'm Harry.
From IT.
From Powerhouse.
Are you my 10 o'clock? Come in, sorry. My PA has just deserted me. She's decided to have her baby 6 weeks early.
How insensitive.
Zero commitment to the workplace.
Young people.
Who needs them?
If my computer said Windows Memory Diagnostic Disabled, I could become quite irrational.
You call IT and they tell you to turn your computer off and then turn it on again. They go to university for 3 years, these people, so they can tell you that.
I just lie. I tell them I've already tried that.
Ah, but they know. They can tell from their end. Heather Dixon-Brown. How can I help?
I've come to talk to you about a project I have in mind.
Please, take a seat. What sort of project?
I want to launch a program to save the tiger quall.
Oh, sorry. It's Alan Dodd, the turn-on, turn-off man. Do you mind? I'll be 1 second.
Go ahead.
Alan, no need to apologise. No, I'd like to be here. Yes, say 10:15. Thanks, Alan. Alan. Which means you're Piper's quail man, of course.
That's me.
We have your dead quail here in the lab. It's created quite a lot of excitement.
As long as it's not the last one.
I'm sure there are 1 or 2 more out there. So, you want to save the tiger quail. You do realise they haven't been seen in the Otways for a decade, not even as roadkill, until you came along. It's a pretty sure sign that the numbers are too low to be sustainable.
According to the Dixon-Brown Index.
You've done your reading.
I heard you speak at a conference a few years ago. I liked the sound of your index. Showed me you were living in the real world.
Well, the situation hasn't changed. No point squandering your money on a creature that's past the point of no return. I'm an ecologist, not an environmentalist. Use my head, not my heart.
Sounds good to me.
We have to be careful not to dramatise ourselves as saviours snatching a poor little animal from the jaws of extinction. Makes us feel good, but we rarely succeed.
But sometimes we do.
As I say, rarely. Species are like commodities, Mr. Jewell. You should only invest in those that are going to give you a good return. In any case, I just don't approve of all this charismatic fauna push, making celebrities out of pandas and polar bears.
What have you got against pandas?
They're far too cute. They take people's minds off the real challenge. We need to understand whole ecosystems.
That's why I'm proposing a cat eradication program.
Good luck.
A comprehensive survey of all the plants and animals. You could do that.
That's why we're here.
Followed by habitat restoration. I want to see that forest restored to its former glory.
All very ambitious.
I don't have a problem with ambition, do you?
And how do you imagine I would fund this crusade, Mr. Jewell?
Through my company, Powerhouse. Mining?
Oh, and what do you mine?
Coal, mostly.
Ah, an institute committed to ecology, accepting money from the biggest greenhouse polluters on the planet. Some people might think that was compromising, Mr. Jewell.
And what do you think?
I think it's dirty money.
I know what you're up against. It's been my experience that most academics are glass-half-empty people.
Tell me about it.
We need scientists to stop being gloom and doom merchants.
We need scientists to do the science.
I thought universities were strapped for cash.
We are, but we're not guns for hire. My scientists are fully engaged with their own research. They can't just stop their important work to take up pet projects.
Have you ever met a tiger quall?
Not a live one.
They're not cuddly, they're ferocious.
So what's the attraction?
I grew up with them. They can take on prey 5 times their own body weight. They got terrifically strong jaws like Tassie devils. $2 million. Just to get you started. It's on the table.
This is not a casino.
But we're both willing to take a risk. I can tell that about you.
Why do you care so much, Mr. Jewell?
Harry.
Why do you care so much, Harry?
Did you grow up here?
No.
Mum's people were sheep farmers, and Dad's were timber cutters. I come from people who've always earned a living off the land. The greenies hate people like us. But my grandfather understood this forest. He respected it. He allowed the mystery of it to be part of his life.
So you are being sentimental.
Perhaps. I was happy when the tiger qualls were running about. But I mean what I say. The world has changed, and mining has to change with it.
How long are you in town? That'll be Alan. If we're very quiet, he might go away.
What about your Windows Memory Diagnostic Disabled?
Would you like to have dinner with me tonight?
I'm on a 6 o'clock flight.
Cancel it.
Cancel it.
I can't, Andy. Oh, hello, my lovely little paws. Looking much stronger.
Why not?
Your sister has arranged it, some meeting.
Take the car then. I don't like you riding on the Great Ocean Road at night.
Andy, I have ridden 100,000 miles on that motorbike.
Just take the car.
Okay.
You are a very good kisser. Gifted in so many ways.
Yeah, right.
You are. Last night was unbelievably nice.
High praise coming from you.
That was right up there.
Top 100?
Top 10 easy.
Yeah, who were the other 9?
All with you.
No, they weren't.
Well, there was that very cute little nurse. What was her name?
1 7 is 7.
Can't
2
remember.
7s are 14.
But
3
gorgeous
7s are
with
21,
really
4
beautiful.
7s are
29?
29. 28, brute.
Ring my sister and say you have a very urgent series of follow-up meetings which will go on most of the night.
She already thinks there's something weird about us.
Weird is good.
Andy, what if I didn't go back to San Diego at the end of the year?
I thought you were keen to try out your love potion on American koalas.
Sure, but what if, I came back?
You just want me for sex.
Well, sure, I want you for sex, but
Pipe, we've always said 2 years.
what happens if one of us wants to extend?
Your life is set on the most amazing course. Don't get stuck here.
I love it here.
Sure, okay.
Maybe you don't see it anymore. Out there, the kangaroos and wallabies that come boinging in the late afternoon, the rainforest, and the ocean just down the road, the old scribbly gum trees, adorable little koalas, the freshest air anyone could ever breathe, and the people, so funny and kind and real. This is paradise, Andy.
Where you are free to kidnap possums.
Don't change the topic.
Its mother is probably beside herself.
There's no sign of a mother anywhere.
How many times did you get up last night to feed it?
5.
You're a mad woman.
We're good for each other. I'm sick of one day at a time. I love you.
Piper,
I'm serious.
I'm not good for you.
Why not?
There's something wrong with me.
Join the club. Just say it. Just say, I love you, I want to marry you, and have babies, and live in a house together.
I can't give you what you want.
How do you know?
I can't commit for the long haul, Pipe. I can't explain why. I'm not that sort of person.
I'm not the woman you want to do it with. That's the truth, isn't it?
A possum has all the instincts it needs to survive, you know? Some creatures survive perfectly well on their own.
Like you, Mr. Solitary.
Yes.
So I should understand that this relationship has no future.
Pipe.
Don't.
So, divorced?
Not quite. I have the papers in there.
Can't bring yourself to sign them?
Silly, isn't it? You know something? I went swimming on that stinking hot day last week at Urquhart's Bluff. And when I came out of the surf, I looked down and my wedding ring was gone. After 20 years.
The fates have spoken. Do the paperwork.
I shall. Absolutely. This weekend.
Any kids?
One son, Max. He's a skiing instructor in the Italian Alps.
Gee, that's tough.
He used to live with us here. Seemed like every morning he'd stride bare-chested into the kitchen with a different half-clad girl. Then one morning I was making the coffee and he barrels in with 2 girls.
Wow.
That was my husband's reaction. Green with envy. I said to my son, Max, maybe it's time you found a place on your own. But he didn't take any notice. It was my husband who decided to move out.
When was that?
6 years ago.
It sounds like your party story. What really happened?
Hi, Dix.
Piper, come on up. Does this happen to you often? Complete strangers tell you their most intimate secrets?
You're not a complete stranger.
Tell me about your wife, Stephanie. Does she work?
She used to be a primary school teacher. That was a long time ago. She doesn't need to work. She's Clovis Carter's niece.
Is that how you got into mining? You married a Carter?
No, I built Powerhouse from scratch. But Uncle Clovis did manage to muscle his way onto my board.
Is he a bigger bastard as they say?
Nah, he's a pussycat. You just have to tickle his tummy. Should I steal myself?
You invited her.
Hi,
You look amazing.
Piper?
Mr. Evil.
You didn't bring Andy?
No, I'll tell you later, Dix.
Is this the vet?
Yes.
My brother.
Oh, shit. Andy's your brother.
He is.
Great guy. Amazing. Tough. Stubborn.
Rude.
Rude. He's your partner.
No, we're just ships in the night.
Oh, God, they've been together for 2 years.
Oh.
They met in Africa.
Zambia.
Doing what?
Tracking wild dogs. Well, that's what I was doing. Andy was working with the Zambian Wildlife Authority.
Treating elephants. Those African wild dogs are endangered. They're on the red list.
But their population has made a big comeback, Dix. Case in point, that was a population way below 5,000. Virtually no sightings. But gradually, they're coming back up.
Okay, so you've had experience working with endangered animals? I didn't realise this was such a family affair. Champagne?
Are we celebrating?
We certainly are. We're celebrating our friendship.
Cheers to us.
You're more chirpy than the last time I saw you. You both are.
I spoke to my daughter last night. You were right about the emotional roller coaster of 14-year-old girls. I am now forgiven, and my daughter has decided that I am the superior parent.
And so begins a lifetime of competition between you and your wife.
No, my daughter's just so excited about the Tiger Qual project. She wants to come down and volunteer.
What Tiger Qual project?
Cape is going to oversee a project to save the quolls.
Powerhouse Mining involved in this?
It's the biggest biodiversity monitoring program we've ever undertaken.
We'll claw this species back from the brink.
If there are any out there.
If there's one, there'll be more.
The issue, as I understand it, Pipe, is that they're hard to find. They're shy, plus they're nocturnal, and they can move quickly over vast distances in the forest. I'm thinking we could base this on a scat analysis, like you did with the dogs in Africa.
Which means...
Quolls use communal latrine sites.
They all shit in the one place? Fascinating. So, how would we find that poo?
You train dogs.
Like the ones at the airport?
Except you'd have to train them to detect tiger quoll poo.
But how do you get the poo to train them?
Good point. There are tiger quolls in captivity, in zoos.
Right, so we buy a truckload of poo from the zoo.
No, you bring in some live quolls, keep them in an enclosure, and collect their scats, nice and fresh. Then you train the dogs to sniff out their poo.
That's very basic, all this, isn't it?
Then you take the dogs into the forest, find the latrine sites, and you found your quolls.
But we need to know how many quolls.
Yes, you do. So you do a DNA analysis of the scats because each animal has a unique DNA, obviously. You can determine how many animals are using each latrine site. There might be 20 or 30.
And you'd compile a population census from there. Sweet.
But, of course, you'd need to find 5,000 quolls to make it worth your while, wouldn't you, Dix?
Move on.
I think what she's trying to say is don't look a gift horse in the mouth.
Listen, there has not been a confirmed sighting of one of these animals in the Otways for 10 years.
Until I blundered along.
One dead tiger quoll.
And a massive project to find the remaining population.
And to mine coal.
We're not mining the forest.
Okay, destroying agricultural land then.
I give you my word. I'll do everything in my power to restore this forest to how it was when the quolls were running about. And something else. The coal industry, its days are numbered. Take the money now while it's being offered.
We want you to run the project.
No way.
This is LA TheatreWorks' production of Extinction by Hannie Rayson, directed by Martin Jarvis. Our story continues in Hour 2. I'm Susan Loewenberg, producing director of LA TheatreWorks.